The sunlight barely pierced the dense canopy of the forest as Alara stepped onto the narrow trail. The map, crumpled and faded, lay snugly in her hand. She had found it hidden beneath old family heirlooms in the attic of her grandmother's Victorian house, a house that seemed to breathe with secrets from the past. It was a map she had never seen before, detailing a route to a place marked only as the Garden of Lost Memories. Alara's curiosity had been piqued ever since she stumbled upon the locket, its intricate design hinting at an age-old mystery. The locket had an inscription she could barely read: "In the heart of what's lost, find what's been hidden." The map had accompanied it, as if it was waiting for someone to discover its truth. The forest was eerily quiet, save for the rustling of leaves and the occasional chirp of a hidden bird. Alara's boots crunched softly on the layer of fallen leaves and twigs beneath her feet. She tried to steady her breathing, the excitement of her quest tinged with the nervous anticipation of venturing into the unknown. The path was overgrown and winding, a labyrinth of nature that seemed to shift with each step she took. The map indicated that she was on the right track, but the dense undergrowth and the twisting route made it hard to be sure. Alara pulled out the map again, examining the cryptic symbols and markings. The path was marked with a series of faded lines and symbols that looked like ancient runes, pointing towards a destination that seemed to shimmer in the distance. As she followed the map, she felt as though the forest itself was alive, guiding her, or perhaps testing her resolve. The deeper she went, the more the forest seemed to close in around her, as though it were drawing her into its heart. The trees, with their gnarled branches and ancient trunks, seemed to whisper in a language she couldn't quite understand. The path led her to a small clearing where sunlight filtered through the treetops, casting a dappled glow on the forest floor. In the center of the clearing was a stone pedestal, overgrown with vines and moss. On the pedestal rested a single, intricately carved stone. Alara approached it cautiously, her heart racing with both excitement and apprehension. The stone had a strange inscription on it, similar to the runes on the map. She traced her fingers over the symbols, feeling a tingle of energy beneath her touch. Suddenly, a breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it a faint, melodious sound, like the distant chime of a bell. The air grew cooler, and the ground beneath Alara's feet seemed to shift slightly. She glanced around, trying to pinpoint the source of the sound. The melody seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once, wrapping around her like a gentle embrace. With a deep breath, Alara placed the map on the pedestal, beside the stone. She reached into her backpack and pulled out a small notebook, intending to jot down any observations or thoughts. As she wrote, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. The sensation was subtle, like a shadow flitting across her peripheral vision. The melody grew louder, and Alara turned to see a figure emerging from the trees. It was a woman, cloaked in a shimmering robe that seemed to blend with the forest itself. Her face was obscured by a hood, but her presence was both calming and authoritative. "Welcome, Seeker," the woman said, her voice soft and musical. "I am the keeper of the garden. You have ventured far to reach this place." Alara's heart skipped a beat. "The Garden of Lost Memories?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. The keeper nodded. "Indeed. Few have found their way here, and even fewer have been chosen to enter the garden's heart. What brings you to this sacred place?" Alara hesitated, unsure of how to explain her journey. "I found a locket and a map," she began. "They led me here. I'm searching for answers, about my family, my past." The keeper's eyes, though hidden beneath her hood, seemed to pierce through Alara's soul. "The garden holds many secrets, but it does not reveal them lightly. You must prove your worth through trials that test your heart, your courage, and your wisdom. Alara swallowed hard. What kind of trials? The keeper raised a hand, and the stone on the pedestal began to glow with a soft, ethereal light. The trials are not to be feared, but understood. They are designed to uncover the truths you seek and to show you the path you must take. The forest around them seemed to come alive, the trees rustling with anticipation. Alara took a deep breath and nodded. I'm ready. The keeper's robe shimmered as she stepped aside, revealing a hidden path that had been concealed by enchantment. The path was lined with luminescent flowers that glowed softly in the dim light. Alara's heart raced with a mix of excitement and trepidation as she stepped onto the path. The first trial was one of courage. The path led her through a series of obstacles that tested her physical and emotional strength. She faced dark, shadowy figures that emerged from the mist, each representing her fears and doubts. With each step, she had to confront and overcome these fears, pushing through the darkness to reach the other side. As Alara progressed, she encountered the second trial, wisdom. This trial took the form of riddles and puzzles that challenged her intellect and intuition. The answers were hidden in the forest's whispers and the patterns of nature, requiring her to listen closely and think deeply. Finally, the third trial was one of the heart. Alara was confronted with visions of her past, scenes of joy and sorrow intertwined. She had to come to terms with these memories, understanding their impact on her present self and learning to embrace both the happiness and the pain they held. After completing the trials, Alara found herself standing before a grand archway, covered in intricate vines and flowers. Beyond the archway lay a breathtaking garden, its beauty beyond anything she had ever imagined. The Garden of Lost Memories was a place of tranquility and wonder, where the past and present seemed to coexist in harmony. As she stepped into the garden, Alara felt a profound sense of peace and belonging. The journey had been challenging, but it had also been enlightening. She had faced her fears, solved riddles, and reconciled with her past. Now, standing in the heart of the garden, she felt ready to uncover the secrets that awaited her. The keeper's voice echoed in her mind, reminding her of the garden's true purpose, to offer insight and understanding, not just to reveal secrets. Alara knew that her journey was far from over, but she was determined to explore the garden's depths and discover the truths it held. The Garden of Lost Memories was a place of magic and mystery, and Alara was prepared to embrace whatever lay ahead. As she wandered through the garden's enchanting landscape, she felt a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. The path had been arduous, but it had led her to a place where she could finally begin to understand her past and shape her future.